Hello students, welcome to chapter Electoral Politics. Today in this chapter we are going to discuss about the election and that too through election how the people they elect their representative and why what is the importance of election in the democratic country. Now students, first question what we see, what do we mean by election? See, it's a mechanism. It's a mechanism where people can choose their representative at regular intervals. Then, student, next question comes: why do we need election in democracy? In democracy, that's called in a democratic country. Student, you can take the example of India. Like India is a large country where we have a big population, but it's not for it's really difficult for everyone to take the decision in on all the matter, right? For this purpose, what we do, we the people through the election process, we elect our representative at regular interval. So here elections becomes very essential in any representative democracy. Now, students, next question comes: which are the choice getting a voter during the time of election? What choice people get? Here to we get the choose to elect our representative who will make laws for ourselves. Here people also get a choice that who will form the government and who will take the major decisions to elect them. And also here people also get a choice to elect the party whose policies will guide the government and lawmaking for the country. Next question comes, student, the features of democratic election. That is called what makes an election democratic. Student, for this we need a 5 point to understand that. First point, everyone should be able to choose their representative. Second point, there should be something to choose. That's called the parties and the candidates should be free to contest election and should offer some real choice to the people who are giving the vote to them. And here, third point, the choice should be offered at regular intervals, right? Like in India, we can say at every 5 years we have the election. And the fourth point, the candidates should be preferred by the people, should be get elected. Only the candidates whom the people vote should be elected. And the fifth point, the election should be conducted at a free and fair manner. Now, next question comes: is it good to have a political competition? Today, this can be understood in the two parts called demerits and merits. First, we will understand the demerit. Demerits here means clearly an electoral competition has many demerits. Yes, it has many demerits. Demerits disadvantage. It creates a sense of disunity and functionalism in everyday society. Right. Second, next point comes: candidates and the parties use dirty methods for winning the elections, and people who want to serve the country avoid entering this field owing to unhealthy competition. Now, next point comes, student, the merit. Here, merit, that's called advantage. People will get full right to vote and choose their representative, and country which has adopted the election procedure also counted in democratic country. It also helps the elected representative to go out and serve the country and the countrymen. And also the next advantage is that people have the right to vote, and their vote is very much considered very much valued for electing the representative. And here you can go to the chapter, you can see that countries who have adopted democracy has been really benefited. We can take the example of India also. We can see the India from 1947 or from 1950 till now. We are one of the largest democratic example to the world. Now, next point comes, student, Indian election system process and procedure. Here we need to know that how we can call an Indian election are democratic. That can happen, number one, because in India we follow general election, we have midterm election, and also we have by-election. And also in India we follow the process. In India we have the election process. We have electoral constituencies. For the purpose of election, we divide the area in the electoral constituencies. Then also we reserve the constituency for the scheduled caste, scheduled tribe. Then we make the voter list where all the population are being categorized. They are been given they are been listed in the voter list. Then we have for candidates who want to conduct election, they go for nomination of the candidates. Then the candidates who are going to conduct the election, they should be having the required qualification, and they should go for election campaign, and after that the polling and the counting of the votes considered. Then last point comes how we can call Indian election are democratic. For this we should know that first point, there should be universal adult franchise rule should be followed. That is called everyone at the age of 18 years can have the right to vote. Then electoral choice, that is called competition between the political party and various candidate, and so that one party system should not be followed, and that is against the spirit of democracy. And every 5 years there should be a regular intervals of elections, and elections should be free and fair. Okay, students, we'll meet in the next class called in the part 2. Okay, take care. Thank you. Bye.